Welcome back, everyone, to Ferris Sports Update. Time to talk men's basketball. And with us, head coach Andy Bronkema. And Coach, first of all, welcome to the show and congratulations on a big victory on Saturday.
Hey, thanks, Robert.
Always nice to come into a new week, coming off a big win on the weekend, and certainly you had to be pleased with the way your team performed this past weekend.
Absolutely. You know, we gave great effort in the last two games, so we can be proud of that, and we met expectations. And you know, unfortunately, we only won one of those games, but you'd like to have them both here at home in front of the home fans. But you know, the expectations were met. We have them high, and they met them the last two games, and we're going to build off that.
Kind of shortened your rotation a little bit as we go to the highlights. Had a lot of guys that played a lot of minutes, starting with the Michigan Tech game on Thursday.
Well, it's a decision we made. We'd like to go deeper in the rotation, but like you said, you know, there's certain people that maybe got to figure a few things out before they get back in. But they're capable of doing that, and we're looking forward to when they're buying in and joining back to the rotation.
Here against Michigan Tech, a team that you played close up in Houghton earlier this year, and you get off to a great start, led by 9 points here early in the game. But Michigan Tech, a veteran team that battled back as well.
No, they're back-to-back champs, and they lost the Player of the Year, so we're finding out that they had a lot of other players that were pretty good. And there's Stoliker, who's finally getting to that counter spin back move this year. He's got a great right-handed hook, and that counter move's been good for him. And they shoot the three ball better than any team in the league, and they shoot a lot of them. So we chased hard, but you can see on some of these highlights, close isn't close enough as far as a closeout. Basically, the best thing is not to let him catch the ball. And Stelzer's a heck of a player in this league, and I'm kind of glad he has one more year, because I'd like to compete against him a couple more times. He's the ultimate competitor, and that makes the game fun, even though we lost.
Bulldogs in on the inbounds play here to Josh Fleming. He had a big weekend for you, 16 points in both games.
Yeah, Josh is back to kind of, and there's one of those closeouts, Robert, but Josh is back to the form that we imagine him at, with back-to-back 16-point games. And he can shoot the three real well, but yet he can get in the post. And their Stelzer just making a play, just willing his team to the victory. But we competed hard against these guys. There's Josh again in the post, versatile player. Like I said, he can shoot it, but he can flex into the post. And we run by there. It's just they made just enough plays down the stretch, but both times we competed against them this year, and we chased those guards hard. And we held the leading scorer in the lead, Armga, who's 23.1, I think he was averaging, to 11 points. So we played pretty well.
Come back on Saturday and taking on Northern Michigan for the second time, and certainly a game that meant a lot, I know, to you and your staff and your team, with head coach Bill Saul on the opposite side. Yeah,
it just seems like every game this year has a little story behind it, and that one certainly has some mixed emotions and some different feelings. And we played real well, and guys just made plays. I'm going to give the credit to the players, and they made some great talent points. We drew some stuff up, and we've been taking a little bit more of the shot clock now that our rotation has gone down to fewer players, and maybe that's helped. I hope so, but the guys are just making some great plays in this last game, and we got the win because of it.
As we go to the highlights of Saturday's game, again, another game that was close early, kind of back and forth between both teams, and finally in the second half you were able to pull away and really control the game in the second half.
Yeah, I think we got up as many as 15, and that proved to be just enough. I think they cut it to 7 or 8, and it's just nice to get off that, have our effort rewarded with a win, because we've had a lot of games with great effort. We just came up short, but the guys made the plays in this one. There's Ramon hitting an elbow J, shot fake, one dribble pull up. These are things we practice in practice all the time, and here they are knocking things down. A couple times we got caught with Marcus Hall hitting shots. Coach Saul, he certainly knows our defensive rotations, and he took advantage of a few of them with some falling out of bounds passes. But there's Drew again making a talent play, and the effort was good today. I don't know, I probably have to ask you if there's ever been 3 players to all play 40 minutes in a game in the history of Ferris State. Maybe, but it could have been a first.
Yeah, I have to go back many years, probably in the record books. Drew Lehman, a big 3 there, and he had a big first half. Dietrich Lever, a big second half.
Well, they're our most experienced Bulldogs, and to say that's our expectation is the truth, And they met expectations, and they gave great effort. There's one of the rotations I was talking about. Kind of pick your poison, and they made a good play. But yeah, Dietrich and Drew, we're going to rely on them, and we're going to rally behind them, and we keep talking about them having my back and me having their back, and we'll start right there. So they did a great job.
Ramon McAfee, you mentioned earlier, had a big game. Jared Steliker, we'll see him here before the end with a couple big dunks, and got some good production from those two on the inside.
Well, they're a good 1-2 punch. There's Jared dunking it, and you know, Ramon, as a senior, is playing just like that. You know, like he doesn't have too much basketball left, and he's playing with that urgency, which is a great thing. And you know, Jared's just a talented young big man, maybe one of the most talented young big men in the league. And you know, in order to win, we need them both to play well. 74-65 victory over the Wildcats, and a game that you hope establishes some momentum as you head into the final 6 games here of the regular season. Well, we're a little out of the top 8 for the GLIAC tournament right now, but you know, mathematically we're not eliminated, so that's what we're going for. And you know, looking at the schedules of the teams we need to catch in our schedule, there's definitely a way, and we have the will, so we're going to be getting after it and trying to qualify for that tournament.
This week back on the road, you've got Northwood on Thursday night. First, let's talk about the Northwood matchup, a close game at home. Just talk about what it takes to go to Midland and pull out a win.
Well, we're going to have to play with the same effort we played on Thursday and Saturday. We'll start there and see if we can't make some plays. It's just going to be contrasting styles. I mean, they're a huge team, and we're starting the, you know, 3 under 6 foot guys. So, but they're going to have to guard us too. So it's going to be a contrast of styles, and we'll see who can execute the best. You know, they have a little advantage being at home, but we're pretty hungry right now, and I think we've found something. We found some guys that are playing hard and buying in, and it's pretty exciting. Coming up then on Saturday, obviously a trip to Sault Ste. Marie as you take on Lake Superior State, maybe one of the most veteran, most experienced teams in the conference. Yeah, they have some stud players, and they're very well coached, and you know, they're on top of the league by a couple games. And but you know, what a challenge! What a fun thing to be able to go to the #1 team in the league and try to knock them off at their place. And if you could do stuff like that, it's a resume builder. You know, it's a notch in your belt. So we welcome the challenges. We enjoy the competition and competing, and you know, that's going to be a fun one also. Still 3 games left here at home here in the season at Wink Arena, and had some great support this past weekend. Just talk about the opportunity to play in front of those home fans and pull out a big win on Saturday. Well, I wish we could play them all at home, but you know, you do have to go on the road. But our fans are great, and they've embraced, and they've kind of, you know, went through the ups and downs so far this season with us, and kind of saw it all develop. And here we are back on a high note, and you know, playing real well and with some good energy. And you know, the fans help us with that energy. So when we're home, we're you know, I'd say easily 10 points better. Bulldogs got some great contributions. One guy we didn't mention a whole lot of was Jabril Jackson. He's one of those guys that played 40 minutes on Saturday. Well, you know, Jabril is one of those guys that will run through a brick wall for you. So you tell him what to do, he's going to attempt to do it, and he's going to do it with, you know, all the energy he has. So, you know, when you have a guy like that, you have to reward him, and you know, he's one of the guys buying in, and he's giving a great effort. And he's still got a lot of, you know, youth. He's got a future in front of him where, you know, he could be the point guard of the future, and, you know, a big player for us on a championship to come. Well, Coach, congratulations again on the win, and best of luck to the Bulldogs as you head on the road this week. Thank you. We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.